All right, and welcome to this episode of Massive UX. Today we're going to be reviewing an e-commerce store that I found here on Reddit called GameGearMaster.com. It's talking about educating folks on what he's selling, description, product that he created and sells. I picked this one because I think it's pretty interesting. This guy has obviously spent a lot of time developing his product and selling it, and creating tons of really cool content. That's part of what I want to talk about. And so I think there's a few things that the high level points that we're going to touch on are mostly around structure, your product, and marketing. Because in general, your design is fine. There's not really much work that needs to go on there, because it's really about all about this product that you're selling. So when I first land on the site, I see Terreno, the tabletop RPG terrain system you build for pennies a piece. Okay, get started. Um, and what I do really love is this background image and video that you have that plays immediately, because this really tells me exactly what this product is and how it works. What the disconnect between what you're saying and your video and some of your other content and your product is exactly what Terreno, um, what exactly you get and what exactly you're supposed to do with it. So I think you're going to have multiple levels of customers. Some are gonna show up and they kind of have a deeper understanding of how these tabletop games work and what they can do with Terreno. And I think other people, they're going to be have more questions around, okay, so I see these pieces to build these cool sets. Um, does this, so does it come all put together like I see in this video? Does it come with these characters? What game am I playing? So I think somewhere you need to be talking about that and making it clear, like you're selling the sets, not necessarily the game or the characters. So you could talk about that and make it clear, like, hey, what does this work with? This works with Dungeons and Dragons. This works with Warhammer. This works with other tabletop RPG games. So talking about that, and that would also help you in like in your search rankings and other um, ways that people find are looking for this type of product. So you could start writing blog posts about building your own sets for Warhammer, building your own sets for Dungeons and Dragons, that sort of thing. So after digging and reading some content and watching some of your videos, I understand your product to be in the end is that you're selling a digital booklet that people print out themselves and then build these pieces. So that's kind of the confusing part, and also the really big hurdle for some people. The good thing about this industry that you're selling in is people kind of have that crafty side to them, so they're already used to buying their characters, buying sets, and painting and cutting and gluing. So that's probably not a huge turnoff to people. But what's kind of unclear is in even just going through your content is that you're not going to be getting these big foam blocks with what you're purchasing or what the game provides. You're going to have to go to a store, buy your foam core pieces, cut them all out manually, and then print out all of your designs and paste them onto the foam core and shape them and whatnot. So that would be something that I would want to see more about. Let's go back. Uh, that just to make it clear. Um, so get started in minutes, blah 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 blah, blah stuff. I see you say something like that, a few times, like get started in minutes. I don't really like that because it makes me think I'm gonna start playing games in minutes, where it's not really about playing the game in minutes. It's about building um, your own game boards. So this is closer to what I was saying about, like, I want to know, understand how it works and what I'm getting, and then what my next steps will be. So I would make it, I do like this. So artistic talent not required. So this helps take away some of that fear from people of like, hey, I'm not crafty enough, that sort of thing. But I want to know more about this, uh, the steps and the stages and the requirements around what it's going to take to go from purchasing your product to playing the game. And so that way, one, you won't have people who end up purchasing your product and then are disappointed and come back to you asking for a refund or whatever, or bad reviews. So I want to see something more like, um, how to get, artistic talent not required, how to get started with Terrano, or the steps from purchase to play. So step one, uh, print out your Terrano sheets. And that could be printing at home yourself or sending it off to Office Depot or some other print shop. Step two, get some supplies, foam core, a knife, glue, a pencil. Step three, tracing, cutting, gluing, painting. Um, not, I'm also not certain if I have to paint everything myself or if the board is providing the printout. I thought the printout piece is glued straight onto the foam core. So I'm not certain about that. So maybe clearing that up a little bit. What I want to see more of are your videos. You have a ton of freaking awesome videos over on your YouTube page. Let me see if I can pull that up over here. Here it is. And you need to put these things into your site. So what I would do is probably hand select a number. You should have your own page for like videos. And so with that, let's talk about your navigation. So your navigation right now is very minimal. It has your logo, a shopping cart, and a hamburger menu. So I would really trash the hamburger menu basically if you can. Um, I want to see a page link just straight to videos that shows like your top 5 videos that explain your product and how you use it. Um, and you could even, I'd like to see at least one video here on the page that I click to play. That's kind of like a supercut where you can kind of like cut down on the minimal talking head and other deep details that you have in some of your videos, and just make it the big overview, kind of like what I was saying about uh, you get this product, you print it out, you create your own boards. They're customizable, they're movable, and now you can play X number of games or whatever games you want. I know this is your logo. I don't love it. It's very busy, but I also get what you're going for. I would rather see just a simple black or just a simple white logo. White if it's on top of this image or this video, even and then having like some of these little block cutouts of it. Just this is just way too busy for an actual logo. It's closer to what I would call a graphic. Uh, I found this page through one of your YouTube videos. It's basically hidden, um, but it's all these other products that you're selling, and these are not easy to find on your website. So I want to see up here. I want to see your logo off to the left. I want to see your cart off to the right. And then somewhere in between, I want to see a link to products or collections where you're going to show me all of the things that you're selling. I want to see an about. I want to see video. And then I want to see something around FAQ. You do have an FAQ page somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's listed in the off-canvas menu. Let's open this up and see what it says. Home, FAQ, contact, search. Okay, so FAQ and contact, that would be good to see as well. If you can, I would turn off search. You probably don't need it at all. I would also hide, log in, and create an account because you really don't need them, unless that's something that you see is very common that people create accounts with you. But if they don't, I would get rid of that. Let's jump over here to your collections. So blah, blah, blah. See if I can just go directly to your collections page and what happens there. So if you are selling more products than just your game pieces, then you need to really advertise that, unless there's a good reason that you're not. But from what I understand, you are selling all of these. So make it really obvious and clear. So collections, okay. This is a little confusing. Wait, where did I go? DIY crafting supplies. Okay. Kind of confused. Okay. Knife stuff. Okay. So I think you're going to need to work on your your collections and how you're categorizing things. So what I want to see is under collections is I want to see tools. And so inside of tools, then I would see knives, glue, cutting boards, that sort of stuff. I want to see, okay, I see how you, okay, you're kind of creating collections based on a project, kind of, it looks like. Crafting supplies, crafting tools. Okay. Yeah, okay, I see. This is too many collections if you're going to show this page. So that's one. So I would limit it. Yeah, so I want to see like tools. I want to see game boards. And I want to see game characters. Like those three collections. I like that I like this idea of you doing like your 10 cent toy spider, or your orc, or how to, like how to build the ground floor grid tiles or wall connectors or whatever like that, and providing kind of a collection of that. But those should be blog posts. That would be the best way to organize your content for those. So you would have a blog post for creating uh, a scenario or a character or something like that, and then you could write about how to do that. You have your video, and then you link to your products that are relevant to that. I don't know why you have what these products down here are all about. It might just be listing best-selling products or something. It's showing way too many. So anytime that you're on a single product page and you have like a related products section or best-selling at the bottom, it only needs to show two or three max, and they need to be small, like a lot smaller than what you were just showing, because it's not about those products in that case. This page is about, well, this is a collection. Okay, so let's go jump into here and take a look. Okay, so this is about this certain type of dice. This is a product page, transparent, blue double die. Okay, customer reviews. Okay, so maybe I was just looking at a collection just then. That's where I'm getting confused. So organization in general is going to be key for you to really provide clarity to your visitors. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so everywhere that I'm looking at your homepage, which is your primary page, because basically everything else is hidden. You're saying Terreno, you're saying some stuff, get started, really tiny testimonials. Testimonials are key. I love them. If you can get people's photos attached to them, that would be awesome. Um, let's see, an image that doesn't really tell me anything or why when I hover over it, it grows or where I'm going to go if I click it. Getting started with the minutes, get started. So these are all telling me get started, but whenever I click it, I'm going to the product page. And so that's a little confusing because I don't really know what I'm getting started with. So it would be better to just talk about the system and then have like a purchase Toronto starter system kit or something like that. Um, Toronto Manuals complete bundle. So you're selling, this is the complete bundle. You can also sell multiple sets. So I would break these out into their own products. So you would have Terrano, Taverns and Towns, Terrano Tech, Terrano Basics. And then people can bundle them beyond that. You can create bundles through Shopify. That would be a good way to do that. So each of these would be considered their own SKU, which is their kind of the number system that they use to track product, and then you can sell bundles beyond that. And that way you can start doing things like upselling or bundle discounts and that sort of thing. Um, so here you're giving a lot of info about the product, which is great. What I would really like to see is to take your description section and bump it underneath everything so that it's more of a centered full width, like from over here to over here, instead of just like this 50% width column. I know this is pretty common for Shopify stuff, but it's really annoying just because it's hard to really digest the content. And if you're going to have these images, I want to see better details of them. I know in other places you have clickable images with light boxes. That's what I would like to see so I can get a better look at them. Um, let's see, your product page. I would add more photos so that you can do the image carousel deal and people can see other views of your products. I would also make this really clear that this is a digital download that they're going to be printing themselves. So I would be like Terrano Taverns and Towns digital download, something like that. Name it something like that. Um, let's see, add to cart, buy it now. We're going to touch on those in just a moment. Okay, here's some images down here. And these are clickable. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. One thing to note for light boxes and images, what you really need to do, check your settings. When you click on an image and it zooms in and shows you that view, you really need to darken the back screen so that you can the user can really focus on the image that they're looking at. And most light boxes have that option. So see if you can access that and turn that on. Okay, so this is actually a bunch of videos. Customer reviews, these are always great. I'd like to see more of these. The layout of them could be better. Right now it's running the full width of the page. It'd be great if it was like max this length. And so if you can work on that layout a little bit better, that would be great. Let me check my notes. I have a few notes that I wrote down beforehand. Okay, so let's go up back to the top. See, this is kind of weird just right here where you have add to cart and buy it now, and it's sticky, which is good. And then the details and you're rolling through, but you don't see like the actual product or anything. Like I'd rather see the sticky product page right here or image with the buttons below. There are other sticky add to cart buttons which are useful and probably better. Let's see. I can't remember what the one I've used before is called. And while it's not like top of the line amazing, it's free and it does the job. So let me jump into a product really quick over here. This is one of my stores. My internet seems to be really slow today. Okay. So here you can see I have my primary photo, and then I have the different variants images. You can pick that kind of stuff, quantity, add to cart, that sort of thing. When I scroll down and add to cart and buy it now, go out of view, then a sticky header shows up where with the product, the variant, the quantity, the price, and the buy it now button. So that's really the better way for e-commerce. It does help in conversions and increasing conversions typically. So I would look into something like that if you can. Okay, so now let's talk about add to cart and your checkout flow because I saw a huge red flag here. So if I add a product to cart, okay, great. So view cart. Okay, so there's something odd going on here with the styling. Usually whenever you have this slide out cart, there's a background that's white or a darker color or something. And then you have this dark overlay on top of the rest of the website. So look into that. There's something wrong right here. Let me see if I have that on here. Cart. Nope, I'm going straight to the cart. Okay. So check that out. I don't understand why the background's not showing up, but this needs to have a white background. Okay, so here's my products. Okay, let's go to checkout. Now when I hit checkout from the cart, I'm taken straight to a login page. So there's either something broken there or you have a setting turned on that says that I have to create an account before I can check out. And you don't want to do that because you're basically going to lose 95% of the sales that you could have gotten. So this is absolutely detrimental to your process. What I'm going to do just to test this out is I'm going to go ahead and create an account. I'm going to change this password, so don't even think about it. Okay, so create. Let's see what happens. And I'm taken to the cart now. Okay, so yeah, you gotta turn that off. You want people to go straight from the cart to the checkout flow. It's already a big hurdle to get people to buy your products. So you want to remove as many blockers as possible. Hey, and look right there. There's your white version of your logo. That's what I want to see on your main pages, on your home page, and on your interior pages. Is this non-colored version, whether it's black or white, depending on the page and the hero element. That's awesome right there. So you know I would recommend people not forcing people to create any account, period, whenever they're checking out. So that includes whenever they go to checkout. So let's go back here really quick. Let's add this to cart. Okay. So open up my cart. And contact info, keep me up to date, shipping and stuff. Continue to shipping. Okay, so I've already gone through my information phase. I'm setting up my shipping, continue payment. Like that's so much faster than forcing someone to create an account. There are ways that they can create an account or log in as they are going through this flow, but that's the least of your concerns at this moment. It most likely doesn't. Honestly, your customers probably have no reason to actually create an account on your site because you have nothing behind a login. You have no hidden content that requires people to be logged in, I assume. Quick note. For your checkout page, honestly, I would probably not put an image at all just because it can be distracted. I probably wouldn't even put a logo. You just want to keep your checkout flow as simple and clean as possible. So I would probably just remove those. Maybe have a logo at the simplest. You can see on mine, I don't do any of that. I have the text version of my shop by default. Um, and that reminds me, okay, so one last thing, one thing that I think is really important that you can do. So you, with the whole account creation deal and customer checkout, you're already getting their contact info when they check out. So you already have that. You already have captured their email and their address and their and a way to contact them. You can also get them to check a box that says, "Hey, it's okay to contact me, add me to your newsletter or whatever." Right here, which is right here. So keep me up to date. You can have that checked by default if you wanted to, but that's not really that important. If you want to um, capture emails, which I think is good to do, you can have a uh, a freebie giveaway to do so. So you could have a block set up down here that's like, um, hey, get a free template just by signing up for our newsletter. We send occasional updates and discounts, blah blah blah, something like that. And so you're offering them one, you could just have a newsletter sign up form block, period. But two, you can use a free giveaway as a way to collect content as well. And that way people can also test out your product. So you can give away a 1 or 2 pager digital download of a couple of your popular product views, like maybe it's just walls and floors or something like that. But it gives people an idea of what they can expect to get whenever they purchase. That way, you're going to be capturing their info, and you're going to be able to market to them later on. So if you give something away, they put in their email, you get that, and then you send them a free download. You can follow up in a week or 2 weeks or something, check to see if they've purchased anything yet. No? Okay, well, you could one follow up and say, hey, how did you like the free giveaway? Here's something else. Give them another freebie giveaway. That's the good thing about your product is it's all digital sales, and so you have an infinite supply. The other thing you can do is follow up and be like, hey, uh, I think you should really check out the Terrano basic booklet. Here's a 10% discount. And so that way you can start marketing to people, getting more people in that funnel, the sales funnel. And I think that's really going to help you increase your sales. Now, before we sign off and close this out, um, you need to also link out and make it very clear that you have all of this content on YouTube. So make your social profiles more prominent because you have a pretty for just like your everyday kind of influencer, you have a decent YouTube channel. You have 1,400 subscribers. It's nothing to sneeze at. You have quite a lot of views in the thousands on each video, basically. That's very interesting. So link out to your YouTube, link out to your Patreon. People are backing you on Patreon. Like that's really important to know for people who are visiting your site. That I mean, you're not just a pop-up shop that some guy threw together over a weekend. Like that, you've been doing this for a long time. You have a lot of support. You have a lot of people interested in your product. Um, so I know that we covered a lot of things in this video. Um, I hope some of it was interesting to you. I'm always available to look at your product again or look at your website and happy to help. I hope you are able to digest some of the info and increase your website sales and continue working and selling your product. I think it's awesome. Congratulations and good luck.